Hello everyone, I'm Robert Brookham, the Senior Advisor for the Motley Fool's Rule Your Retirement Service. And as part of our Ask the Fool series, we have a question from Brian, and he asks, managed funds or index funds? The quick answer is both. It doesn't have to be an either-or situation. First, let's define what we're talking about here. Index funds are mutual funds or ETFs, exchange-traded funds, that basically try to mimic an index. Most people think of the S&P 500, but there are all kinds of indexes, which means there's all kinds of index funds. They might be trying to match a bond index or an international stock index. Managed funds are mutual funds that basically pay a manager and a team of analysts to pick the best stocks or pick the best bonds in an attempt to beat the index fund. The problem is most actively managed funds do not beat index funds. For stocks, it's roughly 2/3 of stock funds that do not beat an index fund. For bonds, that percentage is even higher. So, why should you pick an actively managed fund? Well, some do beat them. Some do beat the index funds. And we at the Motley Fool, of course, are big advocates of picking individual stocks. We think we can do it, we think you can do it, and we think many actively managed fund managers can do it as well. Problem is, you got to choose the right ones. So, stay on top of your actively managed funds. Choose a fund that has a long record of beating the index funds. But we also think that you should have some money in index funds because, unfortunately, you might have picked one of those actively managed funds that does not end up beating the index. So have a little bit in actively managed funds, a little bit in index funds. And by the way, if you're picking your own individual stocks or bonds, you're essentially being your own fund manager. Keep yourself honest too. Are you beating a relevant index fund over the last 3, 5, and even 10 years? So that's our answer on whether you should pick managed funds or index funds. If you'd like any more information, visit us on Fool.com.
People on the show may have interest in the stocks they talk about, and the Motley Fool may have formal recommendations for or against. Don't buy or sell stocks based solely on what you hear.